Hello, 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 everyone. How you doing, beautiful people? We are delighted to be here. How you doing, Nasihudin?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Alex. How are you doing today?
Nice to hear. Nice to hear. So, welcome everyone. We are here in this co-hosted session that with Nasihudin we think will help you out through the to make your hackathon experience better. Uh, we were thinking about what will hackers will need to make this a successful experience, and from our own experience, we think that the focus, the type of effort that you do will matter most if you want to be successful here. So we created this session about building the right midnight MVP and what not to do, of course. So, Nasihunin, you want to introduce yourself a little bit for the people here?
Okay, a very brief intro of who I am and what I do. So, I'm a developer relations engineer, but I have a background with protocol engineering. So, I've been focused for the past years on blockchain infrastructure, decentralized systems, and then products that actually face developer experiences. Currently, a technical fellow on Polkadot and also an elite fellow within the Midnight ecosystem. So I have this interest in just helping developers simplifying protocol level concepts into application and practical examples that they can be able to ship fast and then use to build products. Yeah.
Amazing. Where are you based?
I'm actually based in Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome. Well, my name is Alex Peschanker. I have a long career in tech, half of it building products, digital things. I code since 1983, and the other half of my career was more in building startups and helping companies, to the digital transformation and to use tech better to derive value. I've been actively building in blockchain for the last 5 years from the Cardano ecosystem mainly, and then I'm switching gears now to Midnight since early this year, actively building from the privacy first standpoint. So let's jump into it. Let me get the slide here. Are you seeing the second slide? I switched to my presentation, so I'm
Yeah, yeah,
not
sure,
seeing the
sure. Yeah, I
same
can
there.
see.
Cool,
Yeah.
awesome. So here we are. The idea is to give you some tips, tricks to be successful in what you are going to build. First is to be recognized that building a midnight MVP or a blockchain MVP, it is not an easy task, but it will be better for you if you can focus in what's important, in what's matter most, and to make the best use of your time here during this weekend to achieve the results that you want, which is at least have a clear presentation of your idea of the value that you want to provide to the world or build. So the first idea we want you to have is that uh, is normally think that there are people that have a lot of experience, a lot of technical abilities, and those are the best teams that will probably um, build great great stuff, or more more stuff being built during the weekend, and they usually are the ones that win, which is something that's usually false, because if you focus in your hackathon time to build too many features, or you want to create very complex demos, or you focus in building something that is very complete, you usually don't have the time to do it, which creates a lot of issues when you're trying to demonstrate what you have built, why you have built it, and you end up with a demo or a code that is incomplete and that usually cannot demonstrate what you want to achieve. We have seen many focus in this that are failures. If you focus on tokenomics or governance of AI or SK systems on their own as if they were, the means instead of the tools to reach a purpose, you usually create these complex things that are not easy to demonstrate. So the clear objective here for you that we want you to focus in is to think on a great demo. If you think on solving something that was being solved, focus on having the best possible demo you can achieve during your time here with your team. What do you think, Nastikulim?
I mean, yeah, you've actually said most of it. Just to chip in a little bit, it's more or less like they need a very, very clear scope when they are building an MVP product. Because where people actually get it wrong, where teams like this that are trying to build for hackathons, they get it wrong is, oh, I want my project to be the best. I want it to have so many features that almost everybody will try to talk about. Do you understand? These are the things that actually makes it go wrong. I mean, why you try to build a product, an MVP product for an hackathon? You are building a mobile app. You are building tokenomics. You are thinking about DAO when you don't have users that want to use your DAO. I mean, it's more or less like you need a very, very clear scope for an hackathon so you can actually build the best MVP within limited short of time. Yeah.
Indeed.
So, like, what I would actually advise the do's of an hackathon. So the thing is, judges actually remember products that actually deliver a very, very clear value. It's not when you actually build a lot of features, a lot of a lot of features in your application before the judges can be like, oh, this is great. You can actually build probably a one killer feature, just one, and it actually beats a product that actually builds a lot of features. What judges actually remember from products that within this kind of short period is they are coherent products. They actually solves a particular problem. They have user flow. I mean, this is how the user wants to interact with it. This is how it should be. Live demo. I mean, a product, you can actually build a very, very good product and you have a very, very bad demo. I mean, demo is one of the key things to hackathon product, to building MVP in hackathons, because when judges are unable to interact with your product, they are unable to interact with your demo. I mean, it's more or less like they'll be like, oh, well, the product is great, but I mean, I wasn't able to interact with it. I can't obviously just give marks to something I'm unable to interact with. And then it has obvious value. Oh, it goes beyond an hackathon project. It is something that people actually find value in it. They will easily use it. They can easily use it. Then for you to build a product that people will actually remember, you shouldn't be building architectures that are very, very complex. Like Alex said earlier, you don't need to build a lot of features. Oh, you want to write 19 compact smart contracts. You want to use ZK, you want to use AI, you want to use almost everything within the Web3 ecosystem. It is not possible. You don't need to build a product that has a lot of complexity in it. They don't need to know, oh, I have a repo that has the back end, the front end, the index, the indexers, and everything. You don't need all of that. You just need a very, very clear scope. And the judges don't really care about things the way they are under the hood. Oh, this is how heavy the product is. You just need the best hackathon product. It's the sweet spot. They are useful. It has a clear value, and then you are able to execute it from end to end. I mean, you have a limited time, so you need to be able to execute whatever idea you have within a short period of time. So, like for a winning MVP, like we have on the slide, we just have three rules. Number one, the clarity. It must be easy to understand. People must be easy to follow, and then they need to believe, oh, this is actually a problem that this person is solving. And then usefulness, it solves problem that people actually care about. And then execution, you're able to execute it, and then it is complete, and you can be able to present it. Alex, do you have anything else to say on this?
No, I think you cover mostly all and very clear and simple. I think this triangle of the three key important things that you have to remember is the one take out that we want you to take out of this slide, and really focus in simple terms. Why? The why is the most important thing here, and after you define that why, how you reach a demo or an MVP that can, very clear state how you are planning to solve it, and to whom. So, getting a little bit on detail on that, we tend to focus on the technology. We hackers, we nerds, and we forget about whom we are building to. And this is the most important thing that I think you have to remember for a hackathon, especially when you're building your MVP. What real problem are you trying to solve, and why is it worth to solve it? Why people that you think they have the problem will pay for it, or will use the product, or we tend to change the way they solve it now with a new way to do things with, for example, privacy first technology in Midnight. And you have to remind that through all the time that you are putting your efforts in building MVP, because normally when you're dealing with the tech, and especially with tech that complex as the one that we are building with, you tend to focus on too much on the technology and less on the person. And this is the first, rule of thumb for you to build great demos or great MVPs. If you are building something very complex, it will be hard for you to have a 2 minute video explaining how does it solve what it solves. And but you have to accomplish that. And this is not only for hackathons, as Nasihuddin said before. This is for life, for any project that you will want to achieve success. This is the first thing that I found most important for any projects that I ever made, which is keep thinking on the problem, keep thinking on the people that has the pain that you are trying to solve. What do you think, Sweden?
I mean, you've actually said most of it. Just we've been able to give examples of things that they can actually solve with this hackathon on Midnight. And I actually think this is great. So I think we can continue with that.
Yeah, in terms of the things that you can do with Midnight, then you have some examples about the problems that this technology can help you solve, like, for example, proving your age without exposing your identity, or using AI services without revealing too much data or personal data to the AI agents or to the systems that AI agent will interact with, or have a private coordination without exposing participants, such as yesterday we heard several examples on voting and stuff. So Midnight does enable this verification without exposure of information or personal information, what we call rational privacy. And this is a privacy first way of thinking. So you have to think on the problem that the user is having, that has to have some way of pain or issue that the user is trying to solve that is related with their privacy. If I'm solving something with privacy first type of thinking, that problem from that user has to have some relationship with that.
Okay, yeah. So like we're saying, but we need to take note of some things. Privacy is not literally about hiding everything. I mean, this is where Midnight comes in. This is why we have a selective disclosure. You can actually disclose only what is worth disclosing. When we are building a privacy first app, it's not about you are building a secret app, or it's about revealing only what is necessary and preserving user trust. So it's more or less like revealing less, expose only things that are actually worth exposing. Then your user can be able to control their data, and then they can use it the way they want to. I mean, like the way we have in the Web2 world. I mean, Web2 actually gave us everything. We are able to collect everything. We could store things in databases. User have absolutely no control of things. This is where Midnight actually solves a lot of gap from this. You can actually collect just little data from your users, then you can prove without revealing things that are not worth revealing from the users. So user actually in control in whatever with user actually have the control of their data. So you cannot easily just how do I say this? You cannot easily just Alex, help me out here, help me out here. You cannot easily just expose data without your users' consent. I mean, it's more less exposure and then more freedom for your users. Yeah. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, basically, I think in the same line of thought that we were just covering before is knowing your user, knowing the problem that you're trying to solve that has a privacy issue to be solved, help you out to scope what you are going to prove. Because this is there's always an economic equation in everything that you do, and you need to understand that it's not as yesterday Tushar was clearly showing in his presentation. It's not about giving all your data as it is the Web2 experience right now, but also it's not about hiding all your data. If you want to collaborate, if you want to do something in any specific system or interaction with someone, you will have to reveal some data, and you have to hide some data or preserve some data. The most important thing is how you produce the users to own what they want to preserve and what they want to share, and that's the most important thing about you as a builder, to interpret yes that need and turn it into a privacy first type of design or system, which is deciding what is going to be show, what is not, what has to be preserved and be absolutely secret, and what is something that you can share with the world or need to share with the world in order to solve that.
Yeah.
So an MVP, and this is a normal confusion in many of the building I have been part of, or any of the hackathons or companies that I helped. Usually people think that MVP is just a smaller product or smaller version of the complete or shipped product, but it is not. An MVP is a tool. It's a tool for you to either show a concept. You have a hypothesis that this person has a problem, and you are going to solve that problem by doing this or that. The MVP should be the tool that allows you to demonstrate how you are solving that problem. But it's not about, solving every single thing, and especially not in a hackathon, that the user wants to do. It is to concentrate, to focus in the main thing, the most important problem that matters to be solved. And that's what's creating an MVP or working with an MVP style development means. Is you build in iterations. You build one feature that is complete. That means that the user can interact with that and complete a loop, complete some action, complete what they need or seeking for to solve. And by doing that, you learn from your user, you learn and validate your hypothesis, and then you build on top of that. You do a next iteration, and you pivot and change things. Building an MVP creates a way that is faster to understand what the user needs, is faster to learn about your hypothesis and if it's true or not. And it's also faster to prove a new technology or building in a hackathon, because you have an idea and you want to that idea to be implemented. So you scope it down to the most important thing that you're trying to solve, and then build an MVP that solves specifically that issue and make a complete loop without everything else. So you strip down your building in order to demonstrate that you can actually use the properly the tech. You understand the problem, you understand the situation, what the challenges will be to create this product to be used by the users, and then you can actually demonstrate all that in a complete demo. What do you think, Nasifuddin?
Yeah, you covered it all. I mean, an MVP is basically just validating an hypothesis on or an idea that you have, then build a workflow, a minimal workflow of that hypothesis, so people can be able to interact with it and be able to validate, oh, this actually works. This should be how it is. Then you can now start building on that MVP. But basically, what the MVP just does is just to validate whatever idea, whatever hypothesis you have, so people can be able to actually work with it and then understand, oh, this is exactly what this person is trying to do with this product. I mean, basically, that's just it from me. So yeah, for this, for any hackathon product you're trying to build, scope is the main thing you should look at. Like Alex said, I mean, whenever you are building MVP, you need to build with the right and exact scope you are trying to build with. The team that actually win focus on one thing that creates value, everything is more or less like a distraction. Build basically just one thing that actually works excellently well. Whether you're trying to do a selective disclosure, oh, this is what I want to do. We are trying to prove that this person age is this without disclosing this. I mean, that is excellent. You are building something that actually works excellently well. You don't need to build a lot of a lot of features. You just need to build what matters and then drop down your scope to exactly that thing. Whenever you are in the ideating stage, I mean, you want to be like, oh, what are the features to add? That is where you are actually define a very, very clear scope of what you want to build. You need to start with, oh, is this a problem? This is the problem I'm trying to solve. This is how a user journey is going to be like, from interacting with connecting the wallet to the end of the interaction. I mean, you need to have a magical interaction moment whereby, oh, whether you're trying to, oh, this person is trying to prove their age without this, ZK proof, whatever. That magical interaction is actually needed in your good MVP scope. And then you need to have a memorable demo. Like I said earlier, demo is one of the important things in building an MVP. If you have a very bad demo, like you are unable to present your product to people that want to judge, I mean, basically, you can't actually pitch to a user to come use your product if you can't convince people to actually watch your demo or to interact with whatever you are building. So, like I said earlier, scope is basically everything you need for building an MVP that is actually very, very good. You don't need to start building a complex product. You don't need to over-engineer anything. You don't need to start adding a lot of features. You don't need to have complex architectures and all. I mean, Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I think here in this next slide, we are resuming that. As you said, there is a magic moment in every presentation that it would probably be the only one thing that the judges will remember very clear in their minds. Of course, judges do their job and they do clear, they do read the code and audit that stuff and all that stuff. But the magic moment is irreplaceable. And it's the same moment that you will generate in your future users if you decide to go on with the things that you are building and create something for the real world. This magic moment will be the one thing that your users will choose you for, because it is incredible the amount of traction, focus, interest, and also, pain that you will get when you demonstrate to your users and to anyone that is watching that you really understand them, you understand their problem. And it is very, very, unique and difficult to achieve this, but it's what really demonstrate that the team building the product really did their job, and that they really put themselves in the feet of their users, the customers, and really understand what is their pain. What is the most important thing that they are trying to solve, that I will help them with my own, way of seeing things, that I can help for them, that I can solve for them. And here you have some magic moments in the privacy sector that we are building. For example, demonstrate that transaction that used to be transparent and anybody could read and track and see, probably define a pattern, as yesterday Tushar was telling us, and probably even figure out who was the one that made the transaction, that is state private, that you are really doing, in this case, a specific transaction with the blockchain for whatever reason, and this really remain private, that nobody else can access it, because you keep your information in your devices, for example. And also in case of voting, that yesterday as well, Tushar gave us some examples, that I can verify, I can prove that my vote remain anonymous, because the way the system was designed, my vote never leave my my computer, my device. Only my intention was sent out to the voting system by choosing the candidate, but not anything that can identify me, any personal information. So I can vote with confidence the choice that I want, without even fears of any kind of reprisal for my vote, which is, in many of our countries, this is the situation that we have right now. So imagine providing all those people the freedom to actually choose what they want. That's the moment that you want anyone that is engaging with your demo or your product will remember. That is the moment of truth that you will like to work on, and to be able to demonstrate. And for that, you have to take into account all the things that we were talking before, knowing the user, the pain, focusing in building something that really matters, and also don't get complicated. Demonstrate that unique moment, try to reach that unique moment for your users.
So now, what for whatever hackathon you're trying to build, you need to start prioritizing some particular thing, because time is not on your side. I mean, basically, time is not on your side. So then you need to prioritize a lot of things. You have limited time, so you need to spend it on building what actually matters, and then what would actually impact your product. So most teams actually have low impact, and then they start building work with high effort and so on. You need to prioritize your time mercilessly, and then you ship a product that has value, not start giving excuses. Oh, I was unable to finish the product because of I did not have enough time, stuff like that. I mean, examples of how you can do this is, you can just basically build on existing SDKs. Stop. You don't need to start building things right from scratch. You can just actually use an SDK or an API to actually make your work very faster. You don't build what you cannot demo. I mean, let me say this again. You do not build something you cannot demo. You don't need to build it to be too complex to this extent that even you building it, you'll not be able to understand how you'll be able to demo it to people. You need to remove anything that does not add value to your MVP, that does not even have obvious value to your MVP. You need to add core some parts. If you think, oh, this is necessary, let me just do this. I don't have enough time. Let me just do this. And then there are some things that you do that have low impact and then high effort. You never build to consume time. It delivers absolutely nothing. It's not small. It's like you are wasting your time. You don't need to start building custom authentication system. They are SDKs, they are APIs that you can leverage things right from scratch. Low impact and then giving it low effort only and only if you have extra time. It is, how would I say, it is nice to have, but not exactly needed. Examples like polishing your UI, having extra pages, then adding some other features that are not like the core MVP features, and then high impact, high effort. Do it only if you have time and you have a team that can execute it. Only if you have time and then you have a team that you think, oh, with this team we can be able to execute this. Examples of building advanced ZK features, cryptographic designs, and cross-chain integration. But honestly, I wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't advise it. So the main thing we are trying to advise here is you need to have a product that have high impact and you have low effort on it. You can build this as soon as possible, like immediately. It has a big value. It costs a little bit of your time, and then you're able to do it very, very fast, and you do it first. The user flow, the magical moments, the key interactions, and then the demo critical features. Like Alex said earlier, you need to have a wow moment, like the magic moment that judges will need to always remember that, oh, this is exactly what this product does. So you need to focus your energy, protect your time, and build exactly what is needed to actually win an hackathon. You don't need to start building advanced features and then you are unable to finish because of time constraints. Yeah, basically that's it.
I agree, and I like the visual aid that this
Yeah,
matrix provides. Because you can really sit down with your team and discuss about the features that you want to build and put them in this matrix. How much effort do I need to build this feature? What is the impact in terms of showcasing the understanding the problem, the core user flow, and that magic moment that we talk about. And if you find that you have many features in high impact, low effort, great. I mean, you can definitely decide on those, and you probably don't want to spend too much time in the ones that don't fall in that area of the matrix. So I think this is a very very clever and very good aid for your team to be able to prioritize and define where you're going to put your effort. And of course, again, we are reiterating here what not to build. Be rational. Use the matrix. You don't use your heart. Use your passion for build, but you don't use your heart to make rational decisions, because you will be, probably caught in what you want to create, and you want to solve the world, and you want to solve everything for anyone, and this is not what will create a good experience for you, and probably will not put you in a way that makes you a candidate for winning the not only the hackathon, but also to create a product that really matters. And this is a great phrase that I really like. That is, nobody wins because they suffered more technically. And in many hackathons that I participated, this looks like the goal. You have to suffer. You have to drink a lot of Kool-Aid or whatever shoes you are using through an endless night of non-sleeping, building a lot of stuff, technically complex, and coordinating with your mates by doing that. This is simply not a good experience. You will suffer for sure. That is guaranteed, but you will not probably be in the line to be successful. So try to use what is already there. You don't need to build everything from scratch, as Nasihuddin said, or a custom blockchain, or creating the whole DAO process before even have one user, or a platform for everything. You can use what is there. We have a lot of scaffolding tools out there, such as the Meet skills that Tushar showed us yesterday, that helped you out build with AI. And I definitely recommend using that, or even the Midnight Expert that was showcased by Idris, the first presentation, or Lauren, I don't remember, but both will help you out. Use your AI to scaffold some things, to create things from scratch as a very basic level, to put you out on the track and playing the match. And out of that, you can drill down on what you really need to demonstrate, how I can build that wow moment, and what specific salt or pepper you want to add to that. But let what is built, what you can really use for helping you out to be fast, and to don't waste time in things that is not worth to spend the time. If you want to build a complete ID system for using CK to log in, well, you probably will not have the time to cover all the steps. So you can use what is there and try to build on top of that.
So yeah, as Alex said, one just to reiterate on what he said, I've actually seen most teams in hackathons lament whenever they don't win hackathons. They'll be like, "Oh, we stayed up all night, we suffered on this integration and stuff like that, and we still didn't win." I mean, just going on this, you need to start prioritizing how your demo is going to be. Like I've been saying, demo is one of the important things in an hackathon. So you need to prioritize how your demo is going to be. Number one, the demo flow. I mean, what exactly is the story behind the products you're trying to build? Why are you building this product? I mean, what problem does it solve? We need to convince us that this product, it is that exact product that is going to solve this problem for everyone. The core integration, you need to give us that magic moment. We need to see it with our eyes. That, oh, this is exactly the magic moment that we expect or that we need from this product. Then your demo should always work. I mean, you shouldn't have a demo that actually crashes. This is one thing that I need to say. Yeah, you can actually build a very, very good product, but when judges are unable to interact very well with your product, they'll just believe, oh, it is actually broken. It does not work. It crashes. Oh, it does not work. So you need it needs to be reliable, and then clarity with your UX. It must be easy to understand. You should build that. Oh, I'm building for users to use. You're not just building. Oh, it's just an hackathon project. You need to start thinking beyond. This project should go beyond an hackathon. It should be, oh, how will a user actually interact with this product? The UX should be very, very minimal and easy to understand. And then everything else, it is nice to have, but not necessarily now. You don't necessarily need to have it. But with this priority order, and whenever you are done with your product, you can just come through this slide and just check it. Oh, let me see how I want to do the demo video. Oh, I've told the story. This is the magic moment. are we actually sure our product or the demo is not crashing? Is it working as expected? Are people able to follow? Are people able to understand the exact things you are trying to build? This is the things you need to start prioritizing whenever you want to create a demo video. I mean, a working demo video always beats an ambitious architecture every time. It's not about having the most complex architecture. You need to have a very very good and working demo. B judges can be able to see and then able to follow. Then they can be able to see, oh, this is exactly what these people are trying to solve. They have the magic moment. We actually saw the main thing they are trying to solve, and then their demo is not even crashing. We're able to interact well with it. We understand the UX even without watching your demo video completely. I can be able to actually check your DAP and be like, oh, I actually understand the story. This is exactly how it should work. I mean, basically, that is it. It should be able to guide the user and then make the story clear. Simplify it. You need to remove unnecessary parts. Like, you need to remove things that are not necessary. To simplify it as simple as possible, then it must be perfect. Do you understand? Yeah. Let's move on.
So moving into more of a from the Midna side, what we recommend for you to focus, or some ideas that you may want to take into account. Basically, Midnight give you this primitive level privacy that will help you out solve all these ideas or problems that we were talking about in a better way, in a way that generates that wow moment. And here you have some ideas. Of course, these are not complete nor unique. You can have your own idea already in the process, but Midnight will help you out definitely to solve privacy first application, as we were talking, designing products that privacy is not optional. You know, if I want to protect children identity or information, I want to build a system that hides or protects that information from third parties, allowing them to demonstrate, for example, that they belong to a certain school, or they approve certain subject, or they paid for a certain excursion. But I do not want the third parties involved or the service providers to be able to access those kids' information, for example. Selective disclosure, when you want only to reveal something that is needed to participate or collaborate or access any type of service that you want to produce, but you want to only prove what is needed. For example, that I'm 18 and that I able to drink or enter in a pub without showing the guard on the door all my information, you know, even my address where I live. The CK-enabled UX that hides complexity. This is very important because the way we created, or Midnight was created, it helps you simplify a lot of stuff. You know, zero knowledge is complex, but you don't have to make any complex, you know, way for the user to interact with. And you can, using Midnight SDKs and Midnight wallets and all the Midnight tools and ways to build that we were just showing, you really can simplify the experience and allow the user just to interact with the system as if they were using Web 2 type of experience. This is what we call Web 2.5. You know, it's even Tushar talked a little bit yesterday, as well as Idris, on the two tokens, the Dust. So keep on mind that you can, for example, don't make if you choose to, you know, don't require for the user to pay for the transaction. You can, you know, use your own Dust for paying for that for a user's transaction. That simplifies a lot the experience of the user. Proof without exposure, use user-proof facts and system verifies truth. And also I would recommend here in this hackathon, really use the proof servers that come from either, for example, Lace or 1AM wallets. They offer cloud services, cloud proof server services. So you don't have to run your own Docker. You don't have to run your own proof server. even though it is something that you have to take into account when you are actually building your real product. In this hackathon, I totally recommend that you use their proof server. When you want to keep workflows confidential, who approve what is the approval ladder or process, or in a case, for example, of a bid, maybe for a corporation that wants to hire people and they offer bids, you can make all those workflows confidential, but assuring the participants that they are being treated fair and square for their bids, for example. And verifiable privacy, which is cryptographic guarantees that allows you to prove that you have something, for example, a certificate or a title. You can provide a university with the means that the university can prove that a certain person achieved a certain grade, and that could be done without even reveal even the name of the person. It's just this title is valid, and if the person is showing you that certification, then you can assume and verify that is valid.
Okay, so we are trying to give more ideas of things you guys can actually build. We've actually done this before, just to iterate on exact things what we've said. So we need to start building things that people actually need with privacy, that are needed with privacy at the core. So when you're trying to build something on identity, I mean age verification, university credentials, you want to know professional certifications, then building AI with privacy, then we can have confidential AI prompts, private interfaces access. I mean, we don't really need to take a lot of time on this because we've done this before. So basically, Midnight is built for real world app where trust and privacy cannot be something you think, oh, it might be needed. It is definitely needed. So these categories are things that you can actually build, are like the starting point in things that you can actually build on Midnight with identity, AI and privacy, and finance, and coordination, real world workflows. So now the strongest ideas out of this should actually solve the problem that people are actually facing. It should remove friction, and then it must reduce exposure of user data. I mean, this is exactly what Midnight is for. Selective disclosure. You cannot just disclose everything. You need to be selective of whatever you are disclosing. So great ideas actually protects people, it empowers your users, and then it unlocks new possibilities. So we build with Midnight and then build exactly what actually matters to be built. Yeah. So we don't really need to stay long on that. Yeah.
All right. In favor of time, I think we should be quick with the last slides and open up for questions. But keep in mind what we just been said. Your real enemy here is not the code. It is when you cannot demonstrate that you understand the problems that you are trying to solve, that you have too much on your plate and you want to achieve something to be built in 2 days time frame, that does not allow you to demonstrate that well. You are not shipping working code. You are not prioritizing. The storytelling why you are doing what you're doing is not clear or not complete in terms of it generates this connection with the problem that you are trying to build and the solution that you are trying to implement. And also keep in line something that happens, especially in hackathons, when you are working with new partners or for people who you never worked before. Try to use rational tools to prioritize, to get to those accords and agreements that allows you to work as a team. Because sometimes the diversity that you generate from working with people that you don't know previously or from many parts of the world, it is a challenge, but it's also your biggest opportunity, because diversity, different mindsets, different ways of thinking, different expertise creates the most important wow moments that I ever seen. Even people that never worked before together. So be be brutal in that. Use the rational tools to reach agreements, to define the prioritization. Not try not to fight about things that are really not important at the end when you are trying to show what you are building. So it is being clever with your time, being clever with the opportunities that you have with this team, and use it in your favor.
So so a simple execution of how an hackathon model should be. So it is just in three phases that has just one goal: a demo that blows your judge's mind. Like, wow, this is really great. So number one, you need to focus. Start with clarity. You need to have an idea that chooses, oh, what is the pain users are actually facing. You need to define the type of users that your products have. The magic moment. Okay, we have the pain, we have the idea, we have the pain. We are thinking of a solution. So, what is that magic moment of that solution that you are trying to build? You need to cut your scope to exactly features that you need to build that are around that magic moment. Oh, these are the main things that are meant to be built. So you need to just have a very, very clear scope that, oh, this is the exact things we need to build. Then building. You need to, you don't want to make what you actually thought, the hypothesis you had, you want to make it into a live code. You need to build the core loop. Okay, you are building the exact solution for that pain. You want to validate the flow of how users are going to interact with it. You need to simplify your workflow. This is why I come in by saying your scope. Your scope needs to be very, very minimal. You need to be simplified relentlessly. Then you deliver. You give us the story behind it. You stabilize your product. You give us the demo, and then you narrate the exact things behind why this product is needed. Why are we building this product? So you need to finish early enough to think clearly. This is why I said you don't need to build things that are complex. Build minimal things that you know you can easily build, finish within limited time. And then you can have enough time to think clearly on how you can actually deliver a very, very good demo. And then your time left is your biggest asset. That's why I said you need to build minimally. When you manage your time, then the remaining time you have, you can use it to think that, oh, how should I go about this? You've built what you want to build. You've actually think about, oh, this is the pain, the user. You've defined your magic moment. You've built what you want to build, the core values you want to build, the validation, you validate your workflow. Now you need to sit down and then how will the demo be like? How do I want to tell my stories to people for them to actually see, oh, this is the product that actually does exact things. You need to decide very, very fast. Clarity is everything. Clarity, as when you have the perfect idea, you need to be very, very clear about it. You don't need to build in the dark. I mean, there are mentors for this hackathon. They can be able to like validate your idea. You should not just build in the dark. Oh, you want to build secluded. No, build in public. Do you understand? Then align consistently. You have one thing that your team should have the same story. You should have the same idea that, oh, this is exactly what we are building, and then scope down on it. So demo like you actually mean it. You can rehearse your demo over and over again. So it can actually come out great. You rehearse your demo over and over. If you don't get it the first time, try it again. When you see, oh, we've actually gotten the exact thing we need to demo, then I think that is where you have that wow moment whereby judges can actually feel like they've actually built something that is actually great. Yeah.
And I think that's it. I would like to end the presentation with a phrase that is belong to Elon Musk. His way to do things is cut it until you break it. If you didn't break it, you didn't cut it enough. And I think that is very appropriate for this type of efforts that you're carrying right now in the hackathon. you need to defend your wow moment. You need to defend your time. You need to defend the demo, as we are stressing not much enough here. And with that, we would like to open a talent, a Oscar, for questions or ideas or whatever.
Hello. So we have some questions from the chat. So me and Oscar are just going to go through them turn by turn and ask for your opinion on them. And the first question, so we have, what is an ALLNIT fellow?
It's ALIT, ALIIT. It's a program. It's a technical program for ambassadors of Midnight. It is a kind of a, as its name says, elite type of technical people that are assuming the responsibility to show the world how this tech can be used. We are not formal employees or not approved voices for the Midnight Foundation or anything, but we really push ourselves to be there for the people that are building and showing the world this great technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Oscar, do you answer the next one?
We cannot hear you.
Oh, you're muted, Oscar.
Sorry, there's a button on my microphone, that's why. Okay, so this question is a bit more technical. They're asking specifically about their project. So the question is, since we only have around 24 hours left for the final submission, what core features should we prioritize for a Web3/Midnight project to make it look complete to the judges? So what are our thoughts on that one?
I think I would take this. So basically, it actually depends on the niche you're actually building in. Then, as we actually said earlier, you need to start scoping down on the wow moment of that niche. Oh, we are trying to build something on identity. What is that exact thing you want to solve? It is not basically when you start bombarding your product with a lot of features. The core features should actually come when you are actually ideating on the exact products you want to build. Or we want to build something on identity. What are the features it should have? Then we now need to scope down on the things our MVP needs to have. What is the wow moment of that MVP? You understand? It's not basically we are basically not supposed to advise or to tell you the features you should actually prioritize. You yourself should actually know what you are supposed to prioritize with whatever niche you are trying to build in. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you guys the link for the hackathon rules. At the end of that, there is a judge criteria where all the different topics that the judges have to take into account, such as technology, originality, execution, completion, documentation, and business value. So I think that should guide everybody, to focus on that. But again, as we were saying, the most important thing is what you're trying to solve. What is your understanding, how you demonstrate that, and how you demonstrate your solution has this unique way of solving that with Midnight technology.
Great answer and great plug for the dev post. So all the information about how the hackathon is going to work is on the dev post. I'm going to quickly take this next question that's directed at MLH, and that's asking if you can only participate in one category. So we have 3 different tracks. That's DeFi, gaming, and AI, and there's a 4th track for beginners. So if your team is over 50% beginners, then you will automatically be accepted into that track. You can participate in more than one track, so your project can align with more than one, but we'd highly recommend going for just one to make your project more suitable for that one category. Any thoughts on that before we move on to the next question?
No,
I think yeah, go on.
I mean, that's exactly what we are trying to propagate here. You just, it is actually recommended to just go for one category. You don't need to start building in AI, in privacy, in everything. Just pick a category and then build a product on that category. Yeah. Alex.
Yeah, focus. I think that's the key thing here,
Okay, moving on to the next question.
I'll take the next one. So are there remote proof servers we can use? So
yes, you can look for the Lace wallet or the 1AM wallet. Those are the 2 main wallets that the Midnight ecosystem is using right now. Both provide cloud proof servers for you to use in pre-prod or in preview.
Perfect. Amazing. We've got another more specific question here. So this question is asking if the backend logic at the end of the hackathon or their smart contract is only 80% functionality, so it's not entirely done. Is it better to showcase the working architecture or the wireframes in the video demo? So what should they focus on when they're demoing if it's not an entirely finished project?
Complete is the enemy of perfection is the enemy of completion. I think
Exactly.
what we were stressing, is show that you really understand that your code is solving the main issue. So it is 80% functional. That means that a loop can be completed. So if 80% means nothing can be done, well, you are in the wrong path. But if 80% means that you have the most important thing completed, that the user can interact, that the contract is working, and you are proving what is needed to be proved, then you're totally done. You don't need to have a very complex, compact code or a huge amount of different type of proofs or circuits to be able to nail this down.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Nice.
Okay, great. So the final question we have is, what is the #1 mistake hackers make when presenting their MVP to judges that completely ruins their chances, even if the idea is great?
Okay, so I would say a bad demo is one of those things that judges actually see you can actually have a very, very great idea, but you are not able to execute it or demo it well. They will just actually have this this idea that, oh, this person does not actually know what they are doing. I mean, they do not have an in-depth knowledge of the idea they're trying to solve. So basically, the demo is one mistake people need to actually watch out for in whatever hackathon. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second one, I think it will be not understanding why are you trying to solve. If not having a clear definition of the problem that you're trying to solve, so you are just building something just for the sake of building something, and you cannot demonstrate that you're really focusing on solving something that really worth solving.
Yep. Okay, great. And I think that is all the questions we have. If there's any more questions, we'll give you all 2 minutes to quickly pop them in the chat. If there's any more burning questions before we head off.
Yeah.
But
for now, is there any final advice you'd like to give hackers on how to make their project stand out?
Okay, so
I know we've given lots of advice, but
yeah, I understand. So I mean, the hackathon is finishing very, very soon. So one thing is, I would advise wrap up with whatever you're trying to build, so you can actually have enough time to iterate on your demo, how you want to demo it to the judges, because basically demo is everything in the hackathon. Yeah.
And to not repeat what we just said, and to complement Nasihudim's words, I think have fun, man. I think the most clever presentations, the most successful teams that I've seen ever in hackathons, even when I won, is the ones that I had more fun. I'm not stressed out, trying to solve the world or thinking about I'm being judged. No, this is about learning. This is about sharing. This is about collaboration. This is about your passion to solve complex stuff that will be useful, and that you are putting your talents and your team's mates' talents and ways of working to solve that, and that should be, seen in the fun that these people are having. People are not in hackathons that I've seen being awake all night just because they are trying to prove something. They having fun. They are there with their friends or their colleagues or whatever, and enjoying being there and participating. So I think fun is always a good thing that I always seek on hackathons.
Great advice. I agree. I feel like the teams that had the most fun and enjoyed their project the most will always have the best presentations because they will enjoy what they're talking about. It's always brilliant.
Indeed.
Talon?
Yeah, honestly, make sure you learn as well as much as you can. I think if I'm giving any advice now, I agree with what Alex and Nasiruddin and Oscar they've all said. Have fun, meet some awesome people who know some awesome technologies, and just make sure to make your MVP as like concise as possible while putting in all the information you've learned. So then you have things not fall together when you're trying to be under pressure in front of the judges and doing your demo.
And last thing that Nasiruddin already covered, but I think I would stress that take advantage of the mentors, take advantage of all the people that has a lot of experience. They are there. We are there in the Discord for you. So don't be shy. Ask your questions. There are no dumb questions, especially not in a hackathon. So
Yeah, exactly.
be there, reach out, try to figure out how others can think about helping you out, and use that because it's at your disposal here. And I think it's one of the most important resources that you can have.
Amazing. I think that just about wraps things up. I've posted the slides from this amazing workshop in the Discord. So make sure if you're not on there already to head over there. And you can check out all the information that was given here. Obviously, everyone's going to be available to help you out with your projects, so best of luck. And you can join us here again in about 2 hours. We're going to have a Careers in Web3 workshop with Idris, so make sure to tune in for that. But thank you very much, everybody, and goodbye.
Thank you all. Take care. See you there.